For those of you who have never grown garlic before, garlic is what we call a heavy feeder. It really likes to suck all the nutrients out of the soil. One of those nutrients it really loves is nitrogen. So it's really important to kind of replenish it early in the spring. Give it as much as you can. We do like an early April, here we are, hidden of it, and then we'll probably do one a couple weeks later with like a fish emulsion, something a little less high in nitrogen. But today we're doing the blood meal because it is so rich in nitrogen. Welcome back to the Citystead. We are about 1 week removed from checking on our garlic over at the garlic farm. Everything was looking great. Our percentage of sprouts was really good, which bodes well for product because I'm trying to build a little small garlic farm here and you got to have the product to get out to consumers. So what I was going to do is hit this with a fish emulsion fertilizer, because you got to do a spring fertilizing with garlic. It is such a heavy feeder that it's very important to get a spring fertilize plan going. So I was going to use fish emulsion, and then I kind of got to thinking, because I have never grown anything on this patch right here of ground, I have no real history of what happened here ever. I do know it used to kind of be a farm, or at least some of it was farmed. This part I'm not so sure, and I believe this was actually dug out from the pond that's in the background over there, which actually would probably be okay because that means it's like a sandy soil. It's probably got some, wildlife stuff in it. But what I'm going to do instead of the fish emulsion, which is a little lower in nitrogen, because this garlic is such a heavy feeder, I'm going to give it some blood meal first. I'm going to do a side dress of blood meal all the way down everything we got, and then I'll probably give that a couple of weeks, and then we'll come back and we'll hit it with the fish emulsion, and that'll be our 2 fertilizers that we do going into summer. And then it'll just be hoping it gets enough water, and we know the soil is loose and sandy and kind of loomy, so we know it's going to grow well there. We just got to make sure it gets all the water it needs. One of the really nice things about this blood meal is that it's super easy to find. You can get it at pretty much every big box store there is, garden specific stores. Everybody's going to carry it. You can buy bigger ones. If you go to like TSC, you can buy like a bigger bag. If you go to like Home Depot or Walmart, you're going to get smaller bags. So it just depends on how much you want. But this is actually good for just about anything. A lot of things take a lot of nitrogen out of the soil: squash, corn, stuff like that, garlic, a lot of root vegetables. So if you can spread it out, it works really well. Also, it does kind of work as a pest deterrent. It's blood meal, it's got a blood smell. So if they are, what do you say, not the predator, they will smell that blood and they will probably leave the area alone because they're worried about the big predators hunting them. So things like your gophers, your groundhogs, rabbits, squirrels to an extent, I guess. I don't know, I've never really seen it do anything to stop squirrels from coming around, but it will prevent a little bit of that, so there's also that plus side of it. All right, well, that's our first little feeding of the garlic. I'm pretty happy. We got all of it covered in some bone meal. I went through and just kind of sprinkled it on. I didn't do like a hard side dress or anything like that. I just did a light sprinkle over everything, kind of down the rows. And, that should be enough. The rain will wash it into the soil. Hopefully it replenishes. Like I said, I do believe the soil is a little bit better than, what we would be working with if we went any other place. Just because this came out of that little pond over there, I believe the soil will be a little bit better off to start with. But we still got to try to amend it. We still got to try to build it up so we can have even better soil year after year as we expand our garlic farm from this little patch here to way over that way. Yeah, what is that? Think it's a tuft of fur? Think it came off of something? Maybe it's a rabbit's tail.
Maybe it's feather.
Maybe it's feather.
Look, it's a tiny stick right there.
Oh, must be a feather.
What kind of bird is this from?
Maybe it's from that turkey.
Maybe it's from PETA.
Or maybe it's from that turkey. Remember when we came the other day and we saw those turkeys walking into the woods? Could be a turkey feather. We'll never know. Hey, what you doing, buddy? We don't need them connected right now, though. Little farmers in the making. Maybe. So as we were talking about this, it is probably important to mention that when it comes to the high nitrogen fertilizers and your garlic, you want to do them earlier. Earlier in the spring, the better. So we're talking like before mid-May for my area in Michigan, 5B or 5A. I can't remember which one we are, but I think it's 5B. That's our zone. If you're in sort of the same region, like I said, the Midwest, a little more north in the Midwest area, but high nitrogen before like middle of May. So we got like a week left in April, and our next one will be kind of that mid-May. We'll be right at the edge of it. The fish emulsion will be better at that point in time because it is a little bit lower in the nitrogen. So blood meal, high nitrogen in your April fertilizing. In May, kind of do less, and then you don't want to do any high nitrogen fertilizers after that. Well, it looks like I got the fertilizing done just in the nick of time because I'm starting to feel a little bit of raindrops here, so that means we gotta get out of here. That means, remember guys, be bold, grow bold, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out.